The Panama Canal is more than just a waterway. It is a vital artery of global trade, a 50-mile channel connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Its impact is undeniable. The canal facilitates the movement of billions of dollars in goods every year. Everything from consumer products to raw materials passes through its locks. This makes it a strategic choke point, a linchpin in the global supply chain. For over a century, the Panama Canal has captivated the world's attention. Its construction was a marvel of engineering, a testament to human ingenuity. But its significance extends far beyond engineering. The canal has shaped destinies, fueled economies, and influenced the course of history. Its importance in the 21st century remains undiminished. The Panama Canal is not just a waterway. It is a symbol of global interconnectedness, a testament to the power of human endeavor. Its story is a tapestry woven from ambition, conflict, and ultimately, cooperation. And as we navigate the complexities of the 21st century, the Panama Canal will undoubtedly continue to play a pivotal role on the world stage. In the annals of U.S. foreign policy, few topics have been as contentious as the Panama Canal. This man-made marvel, cutting through the Isthmus of Panama, has been a focal point of geopolitical strategy and international diplomacy for over a century. The canal, a testament to American engineering might, has long been a source of both pride and controversy. Its construction, completed in 1914, was a monumental feat that showcased American ingenuity and determination. However, it also came with a heavy human and financial cost, sparking debates that have persisted through the decades. And in recent years, the debate over its ownership and control has reignited with renewed fervor. The canal remains a vital artery for global trade, and its strategic importance cannot be overstated. As such, discussions about its governance continue to evoke strong emotions and political maneuvering. Former President Donald Trump, known for his unconventional approach to foreign policy, made headlines with his pronouncements on the Panama Canal. His statements, often delivered with characteristic bravado, reignited a debate that many thought had been settled decades ago. Trump repeatedly suggested that the United States should take back the canal, claiming that it had been stolen from America. His rhetoric, filled with assertions of American strength and sovereignty, struck a chord with his supporters, who viewed the canal as a symbol of national pride. These remarks, laden with historical inaccuracies and inflammatory rhetoric, sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles and ignited a firestorm of controversy. Diplomats and historians alike were quick to point out the complexities of the canal's history and the international agreements that governed its transfer.
Trump's pronouncements were met with a mixture of bewilderment and condemnation. Critics from both sides of the political spectrum accused him of oversimplifying a nuanced issue and of engaging in historical revisionism for political gain. Critics accused him of historical revisionism, pointing out that the United States had willingly transferred control of the canal to Panama in 1999, under the terms of the Torrijos-Carter treaties. These treaties were the result of extensive negotiations and were seen as a landmark achievement in U.S.-Latin American relations. These treaties, signed in 1977, marked the culmination of years of negotiations and were hailed as a triumph of diplomacy. They symbolized a new era of cooperation and mutual respect between the United States and Panama, and were intended to rectify historical grievances and establish a more equitable framework for the canal's operation. Trump's rhetoric, however, tapped into a deep-seated sense of resentment among some Americans who felt that the United States had relinquished control of a strategic asset. This sentiment was not new. It had been simmering since the handover, fueled by a belief that the canal was an integral part of America's global influence. This sentiment, fueled by a potent mix of nationalism and economic anxiety, resonated with a segment of the American public. For these individuals, the canal represented more than just a waterway. It was a symbol of American prowess and a reminder of a time when the United States was perceived as an unchallenged global leader. Trump's statements, therefore, found a receptive audience among those who longed for a return to that era of perceived dominance.
The history of the Panama Canal is inextricably linked to the United States. This monumental engineering feat stands as a testament to the ambitions and capabilities of a nation determined to make its mark on the world stage. In the early 20th century, the U.S., eager to establish itself as a global power, set its sights on building a canal across the Isthmus of Panama. This strategic vision was driven by the desire to create a shortcut between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, significantly reducing the maritime journey for both commercial and military vessels. The canal, it was believed, would not only facilitate trade, but also enhance American naval power. By allowing ships to move swiftly between oceans, the U.S. could project its naval strength more effectively, reinforcing its influence and presence on the global stage. The construction of the Panama Canal was an epic undertaking, a colossal project that required immense resources, advanced engineering, and sheer human determination. It stands as a testament to human ingenuity and perseverance, showcasing the ability to overcome natural obstacles and achieve what was once thought impossible. Thousands of workers, many from the Caribbean and other parts of the world, labored tirelessly in grueling conditions. These laborers faced not only the physical demands of the work, but also the harsh realities of the tropical environment. Disease, landslides, and engineering challenges plagued the project, creating a perilous environment where the risk of injury and illness was ever present. But the work continued unabated. Despite the numerous setbacks and the high human cost, the determination to complete the canal never wavered.
The United States completed the Panama Canal in 1914, marking a significant milestone in engineering and international trade. This achievement ushered in a new era of global trade and transportation. The canal quickly became a strategic asset for the U.S., facilitating the movement of goods and military vessels between the two oceans. Solidifying its position as a dominant force in the Western Hemisphere, the U.S. controlled the canal and the surrounding canal zone for decades. This control allowed the U.S. to exert significant influence over maritime trade routes and regional politics. The canal zone was a 5-mile-wide strip of land on either side of the waterway, a crucial area that ensured the smooth operation and security of the canal. However, U.S. control of the Panama Canal was not without controversy. The presence of American authority in Panama was a source of tension and conflict. Panamanians chafed under American rule, and resentment grew over time. The local population felt marginalized and disenfranchised in their own country. Nationalist sentiments intensified, and demands for Panamanian sovereignty over the canal zone became increasingly vocal. The struggle for control of the canal became a symbol of national pride and the fight for self-determination.
Section 4. The Red Dragon on the Isthmus? China's growing presence. In the geopolitical arena, the Panama Canal has become a focal point of strategic competition. As China's economic and military might has grown, so too has its interest in the canal. This has raised concerns in Washington, particularly among those who view China's rise with suspicion.
China has become a major user of the Panama Canal. Its ships, laden with goods, traverse the waterway with increasing frequency, carrying everything from electronics to clothing to raw materials. This growing dependence on the canal has not gone unnoticed in Beijing.
China has also made significant investments in Panama's infrastructure, including ports and logistics facilities. This has fueled speculation that China is seeking to gain a strategic foothold in the region, potentially challenging U.S. influence.
Some analysts argue that China's ultimate goal is to exert greater control over the canal, either directly or indirectly. The Chinese government, however, has repeatedly denied any such ambitions. Beijing insists that its investments in Panama are purely commercial, driven by a desire to promote trade and economic development. China maintains that it respects Panama's sovereignty and has no intention of militarizing the canal.
Section 5. Panama's fierce defense. Sovereignty is not negotiable. Panama's response to the renewed focus on the canal has been unequivocal. The government has made it abundantly clear that any discussions about the canal's future must respect Panama's sovereignty. The Panamanian government has steadfastly defended its sovereignty over the waterway, making it clear that the canal is not for sale or lease. This stance is not just a political position, but a deeply ingrained national policy.
Panamanian officials have repeatedly emphasized that the canal is a national asset, a symbol of their hard-won independence. They argue that the canal's control is a matter of national pride and economic security. The Panamanian people have echoed their government's stance. Across the country, citizens have shown their support through rallies, public demonstrations, and vocal advocacy. Public opinion polls have consistently shown overwhelming support for retaining control of the canal. This sentiment is shared across different demographics, from young students to elderly veterans. For Panamanians, the canal is not just a waterway, it is an integral part of their national identity. It represents their history, their struggles, and their triumphs.
Panama's determination to safeguard its sovereignty over the canal is rooted in its history. The construction of the canal itself was a monumental task that involved immense sacrifice and effort from the Panamanian people. For decades, Panama fought for control of the canal, enduring a legacy of colonialism and foreign intervention. The struggle for sovereignty was long and arduous, marked by significant milestones and setbacks. The Torrijos-Carter treaties, which paved the way for the transfer of the canal to Panama, are widely seen as a victory for Panamanian self-determination. These treaties were a turning point, symbolizing the end of foreign control and the beginning of a new era for Panama.
Any attempt to challenge Panama's sovereignty over the canal is likely to be met with fierce resistance. The Panamanian people are prepared to defend their rights and their heritage with unwavering resolve. The Panamanian people have demonstrated their unwavering commitment to defending their national heritage. Their patriotism is evident in their celebrations, their protests, and their everyday lives. The canal is not just a waterway, it is a symbol of Panama's independence and a testament to its resilience. It stands as a reminder of the nation's ability to overcome challenges and assert its place on the global stage.